What's up guys, JAKE100 here. I'm out here in the dunes, in the desert in Dubai, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to wheelie a collective bike C100. So, I know most of you guys probably know what a wheelie is, and that is probably why you're watching the video. But if you don't, a wheelie is when you're riding a pedal bike or a bike on the back wheel and you're just... when you're riding a bike on the back wheel and you can just ride it for as long as you want. That is basically a wheelie. I would say there's 3 important steps to a wheelie, and that is what I'm going to be going through with you today, talking you step by step, giving you some of my top tips on the way, and then hopefully after this video, bang, you'll be able to wheelie. So yeah, let's jump right into it and get started with step 1. So step 1, you're going to want to be comfortable on the bike, you're going to want to be able to ride it, you're going to want to have confidence, and you're going to want to be able to just send it, you know. So step 1, one of the most important things and the things that you're going to do, so whatever foot you are forward, so when you get on your bike, whichever foot you put forward. So for me, it's my right foot. For some people that ride goofy like Ryan Taylor, I don't know why, he's a bit of a goofy guy. He starts with his left foot forward, but for today I'm just going to show you with my right foot because that is what I'm more confident with. So with your leading foot, with your stronger leg, you're going to want to position your pedals before you wheelie. Your leading leg is what's going to push the power into the pedals, which is going to give you the leverage and the power to pick the bike up. A good angle for the pedals to be at, so you're going to be cruising. I'll show you a good speed to go in a minute, but when you go to pop the wheelie, you want the pedals, you're going to want it at like the 1-2 o'clock sort of position there, so it's just a bit past vertical, just there, so that is where you're gonna go bang and push the power into the pedals. Having the pedals like that and pushing the power in, that's not gonna get you to wheelie, especially when you're learning. You're gonna be like this, you're gonna be like trying to pick it up. So to help you guys when you're learning, you're gonna want to roll that not too fast. You're just gonna want to go at a gentle speed where you're feeling comfortable and where you're comfortable to position the pedals and put some good power in. So I'm going to show you the sort of speed that I learned at, and to do so you're going to want to be in quite a light gear, not too light that when you push the power down you're not actually putting power into the pedals, that it's just spinning really easily. So I would say probably like on a C100, probably like the 3rd down from the biggest or something, not the biggest one, maybe like, yeah, I would use one of these 3 here whilst you're learning, depending on the power in your legs and depending on what you feel is comfortable for you. So I'm in gear 3 and I'm just pedaling it, not putting much power, but I'm just keeping it moving, and that's the sort of speed I would say is a good speed for you to pop a wheelie at. Once you've worked out and you're comfortable at that speed and you've worked out the position of the cranks and you're confident that you've got the right position, you are also going to have to use some of your upper body strength and your arms to help that wheel get up. So with your arms, when you're going at that gentle speed, when you feel like you've got your pedal set up in the right position, you're going to want to put a little bit of weight over the handlebars, bend your arms a little bit, not too much, you don't want to be like this, you know, you want to be comfortable, have a little bit of weight over the bars, and then at the same time you're pushing that power in, you're going to want to straighten your arms, not completely, so that you're stiff. We don't like stiff riders, you know, you got to be loose on that bike. So you want to straighten your arms almost completely. You're going to want to pull the bike up, you're going to want to pull it towards you as well. So I'll show you the movement now. So with the arms, I've got my pedals in the back position, give it a little bend, and then that's where you're going to want that sort of pump in your arms to help pick the wheel up. If you've never even like picked the front wheel up off the ground before, you may want to just practice, you know, like trying to pick it up like that, putting your weight over, bending your arms, extending it, and just popping that wheel up off the ground so you know that you can actually get it off without the pedal power. So once you're confident getting the front wheel up, once you're confident that you know where you want your pedals, if you put them 2 techniques together like that, then it should help pop into a wheelie and help you get your bike up into that wheelie position. So I'll show you now putting the 2 moves together and getting it to the first step of the wheelie. So as you're riding, you want to bend them arms a little bit, put that power in and pull it up. Not completely straight arms. So when I was learning, I didn't just put them 2 moves together and pull a wheelie and ride off. It'll probably look like this for a while. You're probably gonna be going like this. Like that. You might be getting like a little bit of height. Don't be disheartened in that, like, yo, a wheelie takes a lot of hours of practice. It doesn't just come overnight. It took me weeks to learn a wheelie, and it took me months and years of practice to get to where I am today. Like, it's not an overnight thing. That is one of my top tips. Practice, 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 and practice. So when you're popping it up, sometimes you might not get it high enough, but also sometimes you're gonna end up doing this at one point. So if you're not finding that you're getting that wheel up high enough, you're gonna wanna push more power in the pedals and pull up harder, but it may end up doing this. And you're just gonna wanna be prepared to come back onto your feet. Don't be scared. You may fall on your bum. You may get sore bottom for a few days. It has happened to every single person I know that has ever wheeled a bike. Happened to Ryan Taylor multiple times in front of me, which is actually bloody hilarious when he does that. But it's gonna happen. You're gonna get hurt, or maybe not 100%, but likelihood you will hurt your bum a couple times trying to wheelie. But yeah, when you're learning to wheelie, it may help quite a bit to have your seat higher as well, so that you can put more leverage into the pedals and it's a bit more comfortable when you're new. I only have my seat low because it helps with all the tricks that I do and stuff. So having your seat at a reasonable height is a good tip there for sure. The next step is then to teach you how to, once you can get that wheel up, step 2 is how you then control the wheelie, how you then maintain it, and how you can actually carry it on. So I'm going to teach you step 2 now. Once you know how to pop the wheelie up, step 2, this is like the most important thing, which is going to allow you to do tricks, keep that wheel up for as long as you want, combo, swerve, everything. You're going to need to learn your balance point. I can't stress enough that that is the most important thing to a wheelie. Everyone's balance point is similar, but it's not the same. You're going to have to work that out for yourself, lads. And oh no, do that again. So the balance point, everyone's balance point is different. It's roughly the same sort of height, but that is something you're gonna have to work out and learn for yourself. So the balance point is the point in which you are gonna be sitting the wheelie at, where you're gonna be comfortable to just carry on pedaling. It's not too far back, it's not too low, it's between where you're comfortable. So I'll show you what it looks like to just wheelie at your balance point now. So this is what it looks like to sit at your balance point. The balance point, a lot of it's to do with how you shift your body weight, where you're positioned on your bike. And that, as I said, that is something you are going to have to work out and learn for yourself. And as you probably know, when you see different people wheeling, it looks different, and that's because people's balance points are different. To get to your balance point, to control that balance point, you're going to need to start using the brake. The brake is essential for getting the balance point, for keeping the balance point, for controlling yourself, and so that you don't flip off and so that you don't get hurt, basically. So another one of my top tips is you're always going to want to have the brake covered, either by 2 fingers, 1 finger, 4 fingers. I wouldn't recommend that. Definitely 1 or 2. It's going to save you from getting hurt, trust me. If you pop it into a wheelie and you've got it into the wheelie position and you want to find that balance point, if you feel like the wheel's going down, at that moment is when you're going to want to put a bit more pressure, a bit more power into the pedals to bring it back up. Putting the power, pedaling it, and shifting your body weight backwards, leaning backwards. Putting your body weight backwards. Oh, sandy, eh? Putting power into the pedals and leaning back is what's going to bring the wheel back up. So if the wheel's gone too far down and you've put that power in and you've leant back and you've brung that wheel back up, but now you're feeling that you're going too far back, that's when this bad boy finger's gonna come in handy. So when I say that comes in handy, it's because if you're going too far back and you're gonna feel like you drop off like you were when you were learning, so how the brake is gonna come in handy is once you get it back up and you're feeling like you're gonna fall off backwards, you're feeling like you're gonna land on your bum, you're feeling like you're gonna stop the wheelie, that's when you can use the brake, and it's gonna be freaking a lifesaver for you. I swear down. Do you know how much these brakes have saved my life? Mate, thank you. Using the back brake, that took the longest to learn, is how to use the back brake to control the wheelie. So you're gonna wanna learn to be able to just feather it, press it lightly. Pressing it lightly is gonna bring you back down just a little bit. If you're falling back off quickly, sometimes you're gonna end up, if you slam the brake, it's gonna go, you're gonna go back and you're just gonna go bang. I'll show you one of them now. It's gonna slam you forward, and even though it's not gonna feel nice, it's gonna save you, trust me. So once you've got the motion of popping that wheel up, once you've got it up and you can control so that you're not falling off backwards and so that the front wheel isn't dropping, once you've got all of that, it's just getting out, putting the hours in, practicing, being motivated, and just sending it. Once you've done that, to maintain the wheelie, to keep it going, where you are in quite a low gear and the pedaling is quite light, because you are in quite a low gear, when I was learning, what I found a lot, and what I found was quite annoying for a while, is that I would pedal, but I would just end up picking up loads of speed and pedaling, and start pedaling out really fast, and then the front wheel just comes down because you are now not creating enough power in that gear to keep the wheel up. I'll show you what that might look like. I'll show you what happened to me. So you're pedaling, but then you're going too fast and you're pedaling like this. And then as soon as you start pedaling too fast, it's going to be hard to keep that wheel up. That's where the brake comes in handy, where you can start dropping it back, tethering the brakes, slowing it down and keep pedaling. But what I also used to do is, as I was pedaling, as I was getting too fast, I would just, you know, just click the gear up one, and it will change the gear, and you'll feel the power again, and you'll feel that you slow down your pedaling. You're going too fast again, click it up. But just be careful with that. The faster you go, make sure that brake's covered, because yo, the faster you go, the more hurt you are gonna get if it goes wrong. So just a quick recap of everything we've gone through today, the 3 steps and a couple of the tips. So making sure you're going at a cool speed, nice light gear, pedals, good position, power down, arms a little bit bent, tuck up, bring the bars towards your chest, not leaning too far back, not leaning too far over the bars, putting power in to bring that wheel back up, using the brake to bring the wheel back down so that you don't fall off, keeping that pedaling, keeping confidence in yourself, just making sure you find that balance point, because finding that balance point is going to unlock the whole wheelie tricks and all the wheelie tricks and whatever you're going to want to do regarding wheelies and manuals. So yeah, when you're practicing all of that, I do recommend doing it in a safe environment. There's also a risk that you can fall off and hit your head, so I do recommend wearing a helmet, especially whilst you're learning, if not all the time. So right now I'm going to show you guys some demonstrations of just a standard wheelie, and then also some other tricks of how you can progress the wheelie further, and regarding other tricks and progressing the wheelies so that you have more skills and tricks, we're going to be doing X amount of other how-to tutorials to help you become a boss at wheelies. So there's some of the tricks that I'm going to be teaching you in the future how-to videos on the Collective Bikes channel.
But who's next on the Collective channel? What did I do last time?
You did 180 last time. Wait, I could 180.
You could 180.
What's the next trick after 180?
Wait, you hang on. You did mine, I'll do yours in it. So you how to wheelie business. I was following the steps. I was listening to what you were saying. Pull it tight, the balance points, and all these things.
Using that brake.
The crank in a good position, yeah, like this.
As you can see, as I was saying earlier, look, goofy.
Am I goofy?
Yeah, left foot forward.
No, it isn't. No, see, Jake's wrong. Because some people's preference is left or right.
Yeah, but
so I'm left.
Forward is goofy.
No, but because
in the wheelie seat. I'm sorry.
In the wheelie seat. And look at that. What did you say about the one finger on the brake?
One finger to cover it.
Straight away I went there. Because bro, you ain't trying to stop. No, you ain't trying to stop the wheelie. Depending on what gear I'm in right now, I should technically be able to go forward with the wheelie. Wow! Yeah, I think I got it still. This C100's got some mad wheelie powers, fam. So yeah, should I do a how to 360?
Yeah, I need to learn that.
Okay. So the last how-to video worked for Jake, didn't it? I think it's time to do a how-to 360.
Yeah, I can't 360.
Right then guys, make sure you come out next week for a new how-to video. Thank you once again for tuning in. JAKE100 just absolutely killed this, and I hope you guys get your wheelie. I know that I learn from this guy every single day that I'm with him. I get better at wheelies. So if you listen to the man himself, you yourself will be on the 100 level. You know what I'm saying? Everything 100, everything 30. So let's do this. I'll see you guys next week.